The last form of the minor scale we're going to work on is the melodic minor scale. If you'll remember, harmonic minor had that large whole plus half step distance between the 6th and 7th scale degrees. Well, back when these scales were first coming around, some singers thought that that distance was a little bit too hard to sing. So what they decided to do was they decided instead of just raising the 7th, they also raised the 6th as well as the 7th on the way up in that minor scale. Now you notice I said on the way up because in melodic minor you're only going to raise that 6th and 7th. Now that's when we're going from natural minor. So on the way up from natural minor we raise the 6th and 7th scale degree, but on the way down it's the regular old natural minor. So here's what it sounds like. But then natural minor, so all the white keys if I'm in A natural minor on the way down. So in A natural minor, remember we had all white keys, but A melodic minor, we play A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, then back down, regular G, F, E, D, C, B, A. So that's it on the keyboard, and that's the sound of the melodic minor scale. Now let's look at the way we will do this on the staff and learn the way that we'll build those scales on the staff. Let's take a look now at melodic minor and how it will look on the staff and the steps you'll take to build melodic minor scales on the staff. So we're just going to go ahead and do A melodic minor because it's really simple to see the differences between natural and the melodic minor. You'll remember that A natural minor is the one that had no flats or no sharps. Now remember, melodic minor is different on the way up than the way down, so you need to make sure you leave enough space and that I have both the ascending or upside and the descending or downside of the scale on all of your homework papers because there are different notes on the way up than on the way down. So we go up to the top A and then come right on back down, back to your tonic or your first scale degree. So remember, natural minor is the scale in natural minor that has no sharps, no flats. Let's go ahead and label the letters just because that is a requirement and see how fast it is to label those letters. And you really only need to label them on the way up. I'm just going to assume you know how to say them backwards as well. Also go ahead and put in that natural minor pattern because right now that's what we're doing is we're going from natural minor and then I'm going to show you how we raise the 6th and 7th on the ascending side. So the pattern for natural minor, remember, was we heard, we will have winter weather. We already know that it's all the white keys, there's no flats or no sharps, but just to verify, remember from A to B is whole, B to C is half, C to D whole there, half from E to F, F to G is my whole, G to A is my other whole. So this is natural minor. The only difference between natural and melodic is on this ascending side, you raise 6th and 7th scale degrees. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th. They're kind of the second to last and the second to last, however you want to say that. Since those are regular F and G right there, to raise that by a half step, what am I going to do to it? I'm going to just sharp those. So I'm going to sharp those here. Don't forget to also sharp it down here. So we sharp the note, we sharp the letter name. That then is melodic minor. Now on the way up, we have those as sharps. On the way down on the descending side, not really a requirement, but you might want to go ahead and get in the habit of writing in the naturals on the descending side. Because those of you who've been in choir or band know that once you see a sharp or flat, you're going to keep playing that sharp or flat either until a bar line or until you see that natural. Technically, this is not a piece of music with bar lines, but the same concept sort of applies. So on the descending side, you can try to remember to put in those naturals on that 6th and 7th or the F and G. Now this was a pretty simple one as far as the A, but I do think that's a good representation to show you the difference between natural and melodic minors. Now let's go ahead and do one that's maybe a little bit trickier. We're going to build E melodic minor. Now again, the method I'm showing you right now is going from natural minor and then altering the 6th and 7th scale degrees. In a little bit, I'm going to show you a different method, but right now, we're doing everything the same as we did when you did worksheet 11, except we're also including that descending side. So for E, we're going to build E on the staff, going up to the top E, going back down. Follow all the steps I've asked you to. It is so fast to just write in these letter names. Remember, you only need to write them on the way up. Go ahead and write in that pattern, natural minor pattern. Right now, we heard, we will have warm weather. It actually helps me grade, and it helps me see the error of your ways, if there are any, because I can see where you might have missed a half step or a whole step, and I can circle on your homework. So it'll help me to be able to help you. It'll also help your thought process. The more that you do this, you're going to get more answers right. So let's go ahead and first figure out natural minor. So from E, if we have to go up a whole step right away, we know that on that F, I'm going to have to put a sharp. Okay? From my F sharp, it's only a half step, so I'm good to go as far as that G. From G, I go up a whole step. I'm going to have plain old A, so that's good. From A, when I go up a whole step, plain old B, so that's good. From B, when I go up a half step, I'm on C, because remember, those are the two white keys next to each other. From C, when I go up a whole step, I'm on D. From D to E, is that a whole step? Because remember, at the end, you can never change that last note, and it is. So that means that E natural minor only has an F sharp in it. Now, really key and really important right now is to remember to put this F sharp over on the descending side, because we want to see those notes. I want it on every single note. So whatever you put on the natural minor side on the ascending, go ahead and flip it and stick it over there on the descending side. Now, if you want to, you can figure out your half and whole steps for the descending side, but that is a little bit redundant. You've already figured it out on the way up, and since natural is the same on the way down, you don't need to then figure it out. If you want to, it's going to be the same thing, though we hope we will have winter weather, except remember, since it's descending, the pattern is just backwards. I always just write it from the bottom though. We hope we will have winter weather. So feel free to figure it all out again. We hope we will have winter weather. Feel free to figure it all out over again, but really, you don't need to since you've already done it over on this side. Now, this is natural minor. Remember, we're doing melodic. So we need to make the distinction between natural and melodic, which means we need to raise on this side, we need to raise the 6th and 7th, which are this one and this one. Since those are the regular old C and D, how do I raise a C and a D by a half step? You're just going to sharp them and sharp it down here as well. Now, again, on the descending side, go ahead and put that natural over there, because that will show the musician who might be reading this, and it will show me that you know that on the way up, those notes are sharp, but on the way down, that 6th and 7th is natural. And remember, in a piece of sheet music, all these sharps are going to be, well, the F sharp is going to be in the key signature, but then in the actual music, on the melody line, when the melody is going up, it's going to be sharped, but when the melody line was going down, they would put those naturals on there if it was within the same measure. So that's E, melodic minor. Now let's do another one to show you an example of a different way that we might have to approach those raised 6th and 7ths. We're going to do C melodic minor. And take note, because a couple of these might be on your homework, so I'm giving you guys some answers right now. So C melodic minor, we're going to go from C up to my top C, back down, follow all the steps as far as writing all the letters in, see how fast it is. We heard we will have winter weather. Now let's figure out natural. Remember, going up, plop those answers that we find for the way up, plop them on the descending side. So from C, when we go up a whole step, we're on D. From D, when I go up a half step, I'm on a black key. So I'm on E what? I'm on E flat. All right, from E flat, when I go up a whole step, floop, floop, good old F. From F, when I go up a whole step, bloop, bloop, good old G. From G, when I go up a half step, I'm on a black key. So I have a flat. From a flat, when I go up a whole step, I'm on another black key. So I'm on B flat. From B flat to C, is that a whole step? Because remember, that tells us, yes, we did it right. Now, what do we do next? We transfer these answers from the ascending side to the descending side. So from here, I put this E flat over here, I put my A flat over here, and I put my B flat over here. Now, actually, we're done with the descending side of melodic minor. Because the descending side is the same as natural minor, you've got half of your answer exactly correct. Now, though, let's change it to melodic, because right now we just have natural. So changing it to melodic, we raise the 6th and 7th. To raise my 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, those are both flat notes. So to raise a flat, what am I going to do? Am I just going to go, wah? Some people do. I get that a lot. You're going to go ahead and just put a natural on there, okay? So they were flat. I didn't have as much space as hopefully you do on your homework. You have naturals on there. Now, down here, don't forget to change these to your natural as well. Now you'll see why you needed to transfer your natural minor from the left to the right, because now we have those flats over there, and you'll see that on the way up, you play those 6th and 7th natural, but on the way down, you play them as flats, since those were the notes in the natural minor key.